Hey, welcome back. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. This is a journal that I actually did probably about a month ago, and it had a windmill on the front, blue and yellow. And I got some emails, about 3 emails, just saying it's really beautiful inside, but the outside sort of doesn't work because it says enchanting stories and then it has a windmill. So I thought that was actually a really good suggestion. I do take people's suggestions really seriously, so email me below if you have one yourself of any of my journals. And because I use only authentic antique and vintage ephemera, I dug into my collection, and in my Garden of Stories children's book, I pulled out a page, which I thought was an enchanting story about a fairy, and she's granting wishes to this little girl, helping this little girl. So I thought that was better for the cover. I just did a little border in navy cardstock to match the title, and there's this wonderful vintage jewelry bangle, and one or two pieces that are not. This one here is only about 30 years old, but isn't it sweet? It's a necklace, and I made it so you can take it off and wear it. And this wonderful pendant here. Isn't that lovely? Matching the yellow in her hair. And I also tried to match a yellow crochet down here and some beautiful crochet here from a different doily. And I just think it's so pretty now. I like it much better. So I'll take you quickly through the inside, because if you follow me, you have already seen this, but I did make a few little changes. Here's the first original page of the book, and this one as well. And this one is from 1940, so it's a very old book. And we've got some tea-dyed paper here. Everything else is authentic, vintage, and antique ephemera. I don't use any commercial products. This is a piece from a student's workbook from 1926, practicing cursive writing. This is a little children's book page from the 20s, and this is the cover of a book, and it had a little fairy on it. So I turned this into a little tag there. I thought that was fun. And this is a pocket I made to go on top of this 1904 Freckles book, made out of a doily. And this is from 1909. It is a hand-done pen and ink with a quilt pen. Original music, I believe, December 10th, 1909. So if you're a musician and you could play that, or is there an app you can put that into and hear it, that would be amazing. And this is just a little journaling tag I made out of 1950s newspaper piece, vintage music sheet here from 1934. Just a little journaling envelope here on a little dangled paper clip, and an owl page out of a vintage birdwatcher's log book, as well as this cuckoo birds page. This is a piece from a 1950s German magazine, and the images, I love these German images from the 50s. Look at the fashions, they're beautiful. The photography is amazing. I really, really enjoy it, and I think whoever owns this journal will have a lot of fun with that. And with this lovely vintage hanky, and the work on it is just beautiful. It's quite dainty and lovely. And then I've always put my little hidden journaling spots under the flap there. That's sort of my signature. And a 1950s bingo card. Also fun, 1950s Pearl Shop receipt that you can journal on the front and back of. Another pocket here from a doily. There's the other piece of that cursive writing. Vintage flip chart paper. You don't see that very often, but true story. That is a true story. And this wonderful 1930s children's book page here, which has that beautiful fuzzy hard cardstock. And then this is from the 1001 Household Hints, and they're really fun to read. This is a vintage dictionary page, and it's actually the comedy page, if you can see that up there. And then I made the pocket out of an antique book page, and this is a really fun advertisement from the 50s. And I made that into a journaling tag as well. Some little bits of paper in there. Made the flower out of antique paper. More children's book pages here. There's a poem, a vintage botanicals book page here of those beautiful red roses, just gorgeous. And more of that 1001 Household Hints, another children's book page, the animal, cat and dog stories, more flip chart paper. This is kind of cool. I only made a few of these because they were so hard to make for as small as it is. So there's 6 little spots to journal on here. And just thought that was kind of cool. They were very brittle paper, so I mounted them on sticker paper. And then, as it was written in the stars, there's the belly band I made out of the top of a antique book page. This wonderful postcard here from the 1920s. And this is from a vintage art book plate here. And it's just a lovely countryside. You've got the church in the background, the road, little fella here out in the field. So it's just lovely. And that's a very special piece there. And that's all mounted here on a 1950s stamp collector's book page. And then a 1955 American Highways Road Map book. This wonderful bright orange receipt here from 1953. And look at the ingredients on here. We've got soap, Clorox bleach, French's mustard, Lux soap. I love that. Clam chowder, carrots, beans. It's just so fun. So fun to see the prices back then. And we're talking, you know, 70 years ago now. And then a fun little children's book page journaling tag. And this is really cool in this pocket here. This is from the 1920s. This is a photograph, but the photographer turned it into a postcard, which was very common so that you could easily send them overseas to family. And you can see the bits of writing. I was tempted, as you can see, I tried to pull off the black. It is glued on too much and I didn't want to destroy the photo. So that's a really special little piece there, and he's just adorable. More children's book pages from other, I have about 20 different children's books that I use, so you'll see different artists in each one. 1955 Polish embroidery book. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? The photography is amazing. And then 1930s Monopoly money here, and a 1950s miniature vintage card with two little kitty cats on it. I just think that's so sweet. So people who like to upcycle will love those little bits. Now this is fantastic. You'll notice the date on this Hit Parader magazine is September 1956. Well, Elvis had just gotten started, so he was new to the scene. But look at this. For $1, you could get the complete words and music to Heartbreak Hotel, Blue Suede Shoes. Like, this is just incredible. It probably has value, and I probably shouldn't have put it in the journal, but I did. And the lucky owner of this journal will be the lucky owner of that little piece of history. Vintage flip chart paper. This I just made out of I used a vintage dictionary page there. It had craftsmanship in the corner. And some interior spine, antique music paper. Fun little journaling booklet. I just liked the page topper of that antique book. 1920s children's book page. And then in here, this is from 1905, about antiques from the 1800s. And this has just got lots of fun vintage ephemera on it, as well as this vintage book page, which is also about antiques. Isn't that beautiful? And just some fun. It's just like a little journey through time. That's from early 1900s, pre-1910. And look at this wonderful cover from the Theatre Arts magazine, December 1942. It's just fabulous. So I was able to get the whole cover in there, and then the articles on the other side, the advertisements are just so fun to read. They're so fun. And then here I have this wonderful art education book page, and the publisher has just put these little splashes of color in the artwork that the people are making, and it's wonderful. So I turned that into a double journaling pocket. I hope you love this book as much as I loved making it. It is on Etsy right now, hyperstamper.etsy.com, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.